Hello everyone, this is Ninja DC, joining again for another React video, this time for the finale for My Little Pony Season 8. I forgot the episodes 25 and 26. The final one episode, two, depending how you count, a two-parter. And yep, joining you throughout. You and the listeners won't understand this, but yeah, we almost didn't get this React started because YouTube sort of died for like over an hour or so.
It was the YouTube apocalypse.
Second with the gun, like technology.
All right. With that said, join me again is a herd of bronies.
Hello, you ponies. I'm a herd of bronies. Welcome to the end of My Little Pony Season 8.
Also, I forgot to point out this is the Season 8 finale, but there's also a holiday special coming up, like Halloween
Christmas
weekend.
episode.
Yes, Christmas episode.
So not quite the end yet.
No, gotta get that Christmas episode with us.
Totally.
Yeah.
Next up, Carlos.
Hello there, this is Gun Gray here, telling you all that the hour was long and arduous. We spent minutes waiting for the call from our leader, DC, in order to enter us into the hangout to see if things were safe. Only for constant repeats of like, oh, maybe this was the chance. No, we were still locked out. We were still keep on being teased with enthralled of like, why can't we get into YouTube? Why do you sour us so? And all because of YouTube finally dismantling what they thought would have been a competitor to Facebook. That was the hour of the YouTube again. Oh yeah, and also appreciate slimes.
When?
Appreciate slimes for your anime protagonists because honestly, they're actually a lot more interesting than you might think for an isekai story.
Okay, we will go and buy some goop.
No, get some gag.
Oh, the gag, yeah. Oh,
Stretchy and slowly. It's gag.
Oh, no.
What are we talking about?
Bring it back to season 3 memes.
No! Again! No!
And it feels weird to like look back at season 3 longingly.
Oh god.
The one that effectively like almost divided the fandom in a sense.
That's true.
The season I started on.
For me, it was like the back portion of season 2. Though I technically watched the first episode when it first aired, so I'm still confused about my origin point.
All right. Next up, Jenn.
Hello, everyone. This is Jen. It is time for the end of season 8.
It's time for the end.
This is the end. I wish I knew the lyrics to that freaking song, but anyway, I'm Jen, and this is the end. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
And next up, Day Lover.
Hey, it's Day Lover, and soon second day.
Dawn of the second day.
I get it.
What I miss?
Oh my god, he actually was
Oh my
awake.
gosh, you missed so much. You missed so much. There was so much. It was like this big firefight, and then like DC took out this like big axe, and then he started hacking like zombies left and right, and then all of a sudden one of them offered us cupcakes, and man, it was crazy.
So like every week then.
Pretty much.
Oh yeah, and also there's the complications about goblins in fall anime. But that's another story.
Yep, just have to go with the introduction. We're ready to start.
Yes, ready. It's Finnel time.
Finnel dance. Wait a minute. I have a question. If we're going to be talking about like our overall thoughts about like the series, then what does the special count for? Season 8?
It feels sort of weird, but I feel it will be tied into season 8.
Yeah,
But
just
overall, season 8 and stuff like that, I think we should wait with that because we have 2 episodes and I need to go to sleep at some point.
Me too. I've got an earlier day, and it's lots gonna happen.
I got out of bed at
Yeah.
5 o'clock today.
What?
Like
What'd
5
you say?
o'clock in the evening.
Oh,
Yeah. And I think like Second would love some more sleep as well.
sleeps for the weekend. I'm
All right.
trained.
With that said, does everyone have the episode up?
Yes.
Yeah.
all right.
All right. Everyone press play in 3, 2, 1, play.
Fiddle time.
Let's record like why?
Yeah.
Derpy!
Oh, look,
Okay.
it's muffins.
I'll repeat.
Whoa.
I like starting off these finales with her.
Yeah.
Oh, Derpy. We still love you.
Thank you for the mail delivery. Have a wonderful day.
Mm.
She's still not talking.
That was like
Aw.
a first smile. Alrighty then. Wait. Is it that school?
I'm Cozy Glow, Professor Sparkle's friendship
This reminds me of a G3 design.
When did she become assistant?
at that hall.
Since now?
Oh, okay.
Self-proclaimed.
Hello, Silver.
A 7-letter word for teamwork. Have you tried synergy?
What?
What?
Oh my god!
Learning.
I don't know if that's exactly what synergy means.
Nah.
Good morning, Professor Sparkle. The mail's here already. What time is it? I'm late for my class's field trip to Cloudsdale.
Oh, freaking out, Starlight. It's been a
Wow.
while.
Twilight.
I asked Professor
Mhm.
Dad for you, and she said yes. Uh-huh. I told her how busy you are and how much her and William meant to you. I also
Ooh.
color-coded your teaching schedule for friendship.
Oh my god, Twilight would blush at this.
Wait,
I hope that's
is Twilight rubbing off on Cozy?
Cozy, that's amazing. You're like my right hoof pony. I don't know.
Right hoof pony.
It's like you taught me. Helping is what friendship's all about.
Why do I get a weird feeling about Cozy?
My class is learning that on
Oh,
Yeah, like
I like
the
I'll see-
synopsis
is it because she ended the last episode with an evil smile?
Yes.
or the synopsis is.
Mm.
Get the
Oh,
Rainbow
no,
Factory.
In the rainbow's fighting true.
It's the Rainbow Factory.
Rainbow
We're
cake.
Oh my god! Yona, no!
Never stood on the cloud before.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ooh.
Normally, but for our trip, I cast a spell.
Wait. Changelings technically would be able to.
Cool.
They have wings.
Yeah. Yona has
Oh,
my
poor Yona. She's afraid of heights.
Yeah, that's
Aw.
totally me.
Yoda has a lot of
Oh
Oh my god.
Oh,
Okay. She's got every right to be
no!
scared.
Die, die.
Oh god, I'm
Yeah.
gonna die.
Somebody save the yak, please.
Fights now for the rest of her life.
Yeah,
Somebody save the yak.
At least there's
I
going to
think you wouldn't say, thought you would have said three years ago, right?
What?
You know, when the yaks were introduced in
Oh.
season 5.
yeah.
Somebody save the yak!
Now Yona's scared, like Yona about to die.
Like, seriously.
Yuna fall from heaven.
Oh my god! Why did no one do it?
No, Justin.
What?
Are you serious right now?
Oh my god!
Wow. Well, that is the perfect way to start a field trip. Damn.
Oh my god!
Alright,
Wait!
POV action scene.
Yeah.
It's okay, Yona. You like fine.
Ooh, right in last second.
Why are you kissing the ground? Like 2 seconds
Because
ago,
he's
it's gonna
happy.
kill you.
Be alive.
Happy to be alive. Happy to be in
Do you
solid.
remember there
Impending
being
death.
more creatures that fell through the cloud, like outnumbering the flying ones?
Maybe some of them took 2.
Then we let a few hit the ground, but they weren't named, so that's okay.
Wow.
That's the face like,
Oh.
please.
Oh no.
Maybe you did your spell wrong.
That was deserved.
Look, Starlight, if everybody almost died, I think
Oh
that
my god.
a little skepticism is warranted.
Oh, brother. What?
This is a unicorn apocalypse.
Magic can't just disappear. Something has to be causing this. Didn't we learn in class about a creature that eats magic?
Oh.
Yeah, Turek.
Turner something?
Tyrek?
Yeah.
He's far from the only thing that's caused magic to fail, isn't he?
Spike.
Discord as well, but he's a good guy now.
He can't do Wait. Letter!
I've never had a letter get stuck before.
Ooh.
Princess Celestia, we've all been called to an emergency meeting in Canterlot. Look!
Oh.
You can't rely on levitation.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout our city, ponies have been reporting tales of their magic failing, spells going wrong, potions not working. Even Raze.
Oh, even Cadence has been involved.
Are there similar troubles in Ponyville? We experienced
Ooh.
first hoof.
It's the same. The Crystal Heart seems safe for now, but I worry if this continues.
Wait a minute, what about Floating Heart?
It's that. Hey, it's that male pony.
Male pony.
Oh, Star Swirl.
Oh, it is even more terrible than we feared. Magic is disappearing all across Equestria.
Yeah.
Star Swirl.
Oh my god, we're.
Power will drain from our land.
This is endless levels of terror.
Yeah.
Magic and spells will fail. That's what's happening now. On the second day, creatures will lose their magic abilities.
Oh no.
So this is like a biblical reference on the third day.
That's
God
always
created-
the third day rule of threes.
In our world will be gone
Whoa.
forever.
Oh.
But how can the sun set? You can't control it.
That's the worst part.
Well, normally, I guess.
We checked on T-Rex.
But it doesn't even do that either. Does it?
And he doesn't eat magic. So if he was doing his old thing, it wouldn't be like half working, half not.
Huh.
Best explanation so far.
Maybe not.
We should investigate. We'll go. Oh, no. Not without us, you wait. Did you say we?
Yeah.
Count on your friends for help.
I mean, she learned a lesson.
This
That's
feels
something Twilight ever really had a problem with, except
When
let's
Except for
try to call
T-Rex.
back to the movie's impromptu third act conflict.
Maybe.
no, I think it was more a callback to T-Rex where she kept everything secret.
Oh yeah,
But-
that's true.
But that
At
was
the
like a
request
while
of
ago.
Princess Celestia, that's, I don't know, that just feels a bit.
It's a little on the nose, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I should just close the school and
It's a
send
bit-
my students home.
Elbowed in.
Oh, come on, Twilight.
Already.
Okay,
Mhm.
Cozy packed us all up for a trip to Bad Guy Central.
Don't forget the sandwiches. I marked you the Zeus just in case. Starlight can't stand mustard. That's so
Okay, Starlight.
Here to run the
Check one up in enemy list.
I thought that after what happened last time.
Once you survive Discord, anything else is a piece of cake.
Ooh, cake.
She'll have you to help her. Oh, golly, yes! I promise I'll be the best assistant ever.
I don't trust this gal.
What does she sound like?
A little bit too enthusiastic
Well, I mean,
about
like,
it.
who
Whatever.
talks like that when they don't actually mean
Whatever she wants, whatever she's on, I'm not sure if I want it.
it?
Sure, we want.
Yeah. I
No,
mean,
I'm
like
not-
the
no,
princess
I'm not
from
sure.
Powerpuff Girls,
No, I'm not
maybe?
sure I want it.
Hey, who am I thinking of?
Shirley Temple.
Oh no, Shirley Temple talked like that because she wasn't old enough to talk any better.
To do things just the way she
I thought Starlight Glimmer was gonna be temporary head mayor.
Yeah.
But she left me this note. I have
Okay, something's definitely up now.
Yeah.
Strike one.
No. Yeah. What's going on?
Well, I don't know
Yeah.
what you mean. Like, why'd she change her mind? Why did Starlight write a note instead of say goodbye to us
Good
herself?
questions.
Doesn't make any sense.
Nope.
Asking the real questions here, Smolder.
Ah.
Dragons, poor ponies. Sounds like some creature needs to do a little extra friendship homework.
What the?
Oh, burn.
Racism.
And the creature's cozy if this
Me too.
is, or actually the scenario as described.
And we have seen evil ponies before. Some brought.
The Griffin is the only one that's like, do you guys have any idea what you're doing?
No, probably not. Yeah.
And I'm grateful because it will be awfully hard running a whole school alone. Can I count on each of you to help me?
Yeah, of course.
I don't trust this gal.
No, me neither.
Just like our
Yeah.
professors taught us.
I don't trust the pony's judgment if they actually fell for Cozy's hole. Oh, I think we need
Oh,
to
hello
go
there,
with your
darkness, my
homework.
only friend.
Defend yourself.
Wow, magic as a flesh water.
Shoo them away. Bite your tongue.
Oh, come on, Rarity, you're used
And
to
occasionally
tail
for
forward.
incontinence,
that's what's distracting them.
Ugh.
To keep them cold.
Oh my god. No, Piggy!
Oh, God. Oh my God.
Oh.
Nasty.
Jeez.
Well, you know, if it's so bad that even
I mean-
Pinky spits it out, it's
Oh,
bad.
Pinky doesn't use magic to keep things cold. I think she would have known that.
Maybe.
Wow.
Even if our food's spoiled, these blueberries are still good to eat.
Too bad we can't do anything about the rainstorm.
What?
I can't stop that storm by myself, but I can still help.
I mean,
Oh? Oh, so no,
Yeah.
that's actually clever.
umbrella.
All the magic we need right here.
Hmm.
Not that I don't
No.
want to get it back. Let's go.
So this is an interesting prospect. Unicorns have been rendered useless.
Which means the
Yeah.
Pegasi are the dominant race now.
What was that meme with Twilight and Rainbow get their wings and horns taken away by Discord and written underneath the caption? Now we're as useless as Applejack.
Yeah.
Well, of course. But if Twilight takes her time coming back, I won't mind.
Wow, okay.
That's wrong.
Finally! We thought you
Aww.
club.
Sorry I'm late.
Yeah.
Cozy Glow gave our class tickets to a Sapphire Shores concert in Ponyville tonight.
You
What
get the feeling
the
that
hell?
Cozy's
Wow.
trying too hard to make us like
Hell yeah!
Where did Cozy get all that money?
I don't know.
Yoda like nachos.
How'd really
I'm with you, Smolder. I'm
How
with
would the
you.
concert really go as planned without any magic support?
Oh, catacombs.
What?
Oh. She's actually
Let's go ask.
hiding something.
She knows they're supposed to be doing a study.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's an amazing door.
The seal isn't broken.
Where's Cerberus?
Oh yeah, that's.
I need a door like that in the rift.
I had to use magic to get in, and according to Star Swirl, all unicorn magic was gone by yesterday's sunset.
Ooh.
He was wrong.
Ugh.
No.
Well, managed to kill 5 seconds there.
Pizza delivery.
Extra cheese.
Dang it.
Did any of y'all pack something that could actually help?
Sorry, but we could smell that pizza from here.
Yeah.
These all do magic. But
Um.
How about this?
What?
Wow.
unfettered entrance. Where did you find this, Spike?
Okay, Spike.
Cozy Glow must have packed
That's not
Oh, I see what's going
It's a
on.
trap.
It's a trap.
Yeah, it's trap. Uh-huh.
It can magically open any door. And since
It's
our
pretty
magic
much the
can't
sonic
open
screwdriver.
Yeah.
That's
Alonzi.
convenient.
Yep.
Mhm.
Open the
Also
gates
looks a little
of
bit like
hell.
Avatar.
No, it feels sort of weird that they're bringing back the artifact.
No.
Oh,
I guess it only works once.
Oh
Oh,
no.
dear.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
No.
I know
No.
you're
Let's hope
going
the
to
door
do
doesn't
that.
close.
Nobody waits outside, and
Cockatrice. Cockatrice. Stairmaster. Fluttershy. Stare.
What, Pinky, you're looking at it.
Unless it's really bouncy stone.
Come on.
Pinky,
Stone.
really?
Aw.
I think he lost his magic too.
What?
So all creatures.
Here must have
Bugbear!
Whoa!
Oh.
Wow.
Star Swirl said that would happen on the second day.
I know it should make me feel safer, but it just makes me sad. We got
All these dangerous animals without their powers.
Yeah.
Hey, look!
Okay, wasn't Tartarus supposed to be a prison for creatures that do specifically evil things?
Well, the bugbear.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! What?
Oh golly, she's away at a quest. I'm watching the school for her.
Magic is failing across our land, and she left a fool in charge of this facility?
Yeah, you tell her, and they say.
Oh boy.
Won't be necessary.
Actually, rooting for our villain is fun.
Now, I am heads down.
What?
I have quite a few changes to make.
Oh
Oh
no.
my god.
I mean, he has the power to shut it down. I don't know if he can
Okay.
declare
Now,
himself
what are you
the
gonna
owner
do,
of
Cozy?
Twilight's
So they're
facility.
not actually
Sure,
working
yeah.
together. Okay.
Monsters lost their magic. Then get
Aww. Pinky apple pie.
Rub it in, why don't you?
Cerberus!
Derby, there he
Yay.
is.
Fluffy.
Excuse me, puppy. You're a very good guard dog. Yes, you are. But, we were wondering if we could get by to check on T-Rex.
Aw.
Yeah.
Ew.
And then all of a sudden they eat flashlight.
I'll get you a towel.
Oh no, Jen, all of the fan art.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Hey, T-Rex! How you doing in my favorite form of you?
Here for a visit.
Wait, if he's sucking out power, he should have power, right?
Magic is disappearing from Equestria.
I know. What a waste of such delicious power.
Creepy.
Okay, so
Creepy.
Silly filly. If I had all that magic, do you think I'd still be locked up in here? But I might know something about it.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
What are you doing? Those are Twilight student files.
These aren't. Not anymore. With Equestria under attack, ponies must stand together. Twilight is a dead.
Again, this feels so randomly inserted, the sudden racism part.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they've made it just him all season, so, I mean, it could be like coming back to Starlight
him
every
and-
so often, or even
Well, him and also Glamour. What? Cozy Glow.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Well,
who
okay,
would you
that's-
rather have? Cozy Glow or Chancellor Naysay?
Yeah. Well, I mean, as long as it pertains to.
What?
Oh, magic artifact.
Oh yeah, that's right. He has that artifact.
Oh
Forgot
god.
all
He
about
sees
that.
this.
This guy really sucks.
Yeah.
To explain your plot against Equestria and return the
Oh my god, this is just basically the McCarthy
McCarthyism.
era.
to take you home.
Wait!
Hmm.
You were right about them from the beginning, Chad.
Oh my god. You're going for the
Sandbar's going to do a double cross.
Creatures that can stay Equestria.
Come on, it's so obvious what he's doing.
And you just believe any pony.
Will come to their senses
Well,
eventually.
Oh my
nobody
god.
said that prejudice was rooted in logic.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay,
Maybe
so-
he's got a plan or something.
Wait.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's. I mean, we know that we all know that Sandbar is lying to Chancellor Naysay, right?
Yeah. Oh!
Sorry.
Well, okay, and there it is.
Hey, Cal.
I need the Cutie Mark Crusader.
You're going to throw a cow at the window?
Oh, we know that cows are sentient in this universe.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
It's still kind of funny. I'm sorry.
I can break out my friends. Will you help me?
Oh my god. Cutie Mark Crusaders involved in the finale.
That's a yes. Yeah.
This is gonna be hype.
Equestria's magic going, T-Rex. What's making it
Learning
disappear?
things by My Little Pony. Root with seeds.
Ah.
Don't trust him.
What do you say? I
Hmm.
Was he so
Don't-
creepy?
Don't take the hand of the devil, please.
Got magic keys and no pony can open the door.
Yeah, that's true.
I hadn't thought of that.
Seriously, you guys.
You haven't thought of that?
No.
What a pity.
And now it's too late, yeah.
You sweet revenge for me.
Well, you're trapped down there with them.
Protege's plan worked.
Protege.
Which little protege?
Oh,
Well, he gave up his ace on being let out pretty quick there.
so many
Ah.
questions about
Oh, yeah.
draining magic.
And you answered them?
Well, I was bored, so I simply pointed my pen pal in the right direction.
Pen pal.
Can't you just
And these letters went completely unchecked.
Yeah.
here anyway?
But, like,
Oh, why not?
And how do you send letters from the underworld to?
I mean, you can send letters from jail.
I
but,
knew it.
Yeah.
I
Come on,
knew
we all
she
knew
was
that she
evil.
was
So.
in on something.
That was an awkward cut.
Oh,
Okay.
jeez.
Yourself in there,
Oh.
Starlight?
That's a little more powerful than I imagined.
But what else could I do? You were going to ruin all my plans.
I
I
knew
knew
she was
it.
evil.
Face.
I can't make that annoying naysay back off.
Ooh.
Dang.
Definitely inherited that from Starlight.
Drained from Equestria before my vortex sucks it to another realm.
What?
Whoa.
let's see, if I left out any part of my plan just in case any hypothetical creatures listening would be confused.
And the audience,
Oh.
of course.
Twilight and her lackeys out of my way.
I like it's the artifacts from the school.
The future Empress of Friendship.
That's not how you get friends, though.
Wow.
I think you missed a step.
Oh,
Or a couple.
I've seen what they've
Wow, you know what? I gotta hand it to Cozy Glow. Little tiny foal, but she got some big plans.
And
She dreams big. I'll tell you
That's
that.
for sure, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I
gotta
mean-
hand it to her. I gotta hand it to her. Be evil,
Alright.
cute little evil thing. But dang, I
Is everyone
respect
ready to?
a big plan like that.
Is everyone ready to jump into the next
Another one
episode?
of
Yes,
those,
the suspense is real.
It isn't like another one of those villain plots where we just find out, like, oh, no, they just happen to already have everything they need for, to already have half taken over Equestria, but, we didn't feel like writing that part, but I mean,
Wait. Let me get this straight. We are rooting for Chancellor Naysay now?
no.
That feels a little weird, right?
Yeah, that does
well,
feel
I mean,
weird.
I feel like he's more tangential to the plot at the moment than he is, like, opposed to anyone we like or don't like.
Yeah.
He's just
yeah.
a big species,
Alright.
you know?
But
Yeah.
are y'all ready for the next episode?
I'm ready. Let's do
Yeah.
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Let's continue
Let's
on
do
the.
it.
All right,
Hype
everyone,
train
press.
going.
Yes.
Everyone got the episode up.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
Alright.
Toot toot.
All right, everyone, press play in 3, 2, 1, play.
All right, let's continue on to the
Yay.
finale with an actual plot that I actually wanted for the finale.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Previously on My Little Pony.
they're playing it pretty well so far, like, for what it is. That
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Multiple players, no.
Like,
multiple
as
pieces.
uncorking the multiple layers of Cozy's plan goes, that was pretty.
It seems my little
Yeah.
protege's plan worked out.
All right,
That was
Starlight,
exciting.
let me
Oh.
show you this PowerPoint presentation of my plan.
Oh, that evil laughter.
Nice.
That's nice.
I don't know.
Forehead.
I don't know. I mean, Cozy herself, I don't know, has like the novelty of a cute, sweet-looking character who's actually evil worn off yet.
No.
Doesn't, but it's still kind of welcome. I mean, nobody ever expects the cutest little thing. I mean,
Oh, except in
why else
Gravity
why else we think Angel
Falls.
was?
Half the episodes of the Powerpuff Girls.
Cats don't
Or
dance.
the bunny
Oh,
from
that's right,
Monty
Miss
Python.
Dimple.
Yeah.
I never thought Miss Dimple was cute at all. I thought she was ugly as sin.
Oh, really?
I'm not usually a
Aw.
fan, ponies, but draining your precious world of magic so she could trap the 6 of you was inspiring.
There's 7 of us?
Yeah.
Yeah, Starlight is in a little pickle.
Actually, Spike, did Tyrek ever meet you?
No.
No.
I don't think so.
Oh, it's the Manticore! The Manticore's in prison too!
Yeah.
Yeah, this... I mean...
And now you're gonna do that.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Brilliant!
How are we gonna perform a jailbreak from Tartarus?
Okay, but yeah, it seems like the reveal is that Tartarus is the dangerous animal zoo.
Yeah.
Or the dangerous animal center.
What?
Pinky.
The most powerful villains and monsters of all time are trapped here.
And yet, no one decided to put Discord in here.
Oh.
Where the heck is Discord anyway?
What?
Well, Discord has the power to do whatever he wants, so I mean, I think we've already, in fact, yeah, we've already established that even Celestia's spells that are supposed to be...
What were you going to harvest, Twilight?
What did she say?
She's going to harvest magic from the creatures. Are they going to kill them?
But there's magic in the creatures.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Wait, that... Okay. Okay, I'm gonna wait to call anything on that, but...
Ooh.
What the EEA needs is some pony to protect this school from the threats at Equestria's borders, instead of
Oh, he's good.
Again, this feels so out of nowhere of a plot point.
Yeah.
I mean, not for the season.
Oh my god.
I mean, we need some kind of a payoff for Chancellor Naysay, but, I mean, if it's just that he's something else for Cozy Glow to run over.
Well, you don't actually own this school.
No.
Okay, I really don't like
He's
that
mad.
face.
Yeah.
Let's go, Kingdom Crusaders. It's time for your turn to save the
Use
world.
Crusader power. Uh-oh.
Oh, God.
No, 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 no.
Oh, my
use
God.
it. No. Ah.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
no. Oh, no.
That's creepy.
Oh, that's pretty creepy,
Yeah, it
yeah.
has to turn into little hands, of course.
Yeah.
Right. Nice touch.
Oh, no, the art of that as well.
So, OP magic trap for Starlight.
Yeah.
Can't you just, like, hit the artifacts one at a time?
Maybe. Maybe they need to find all of the
I mean,
for
they might
every artifact.
be technically able to like remove them,
something.
but like they don't have the experience with magic.
Yeah, maybe they need to find the pillars and get them to touch the items.
Can't you just go out the window, though?
Did you miss the part where he said he didn't want anything to do with us?
Yeah, do you know how to lie?
Well,
Yeah, but she's not.
Oh, there's two gens.
Oh, God.
Reverse racism.
Aw, so cute.
Except for Cozy Glow, that pony is not who we thought she was. She's the one trying to magic out of Equestria. What?
Oh.
Hey, Jen, you're muted.
Wait, what?
I was telling Jen she's muted still.
Oh, dude.
Oh, no. Okay.
I just want to make sure she knows.
Yeah.
well, so the part where Chancellor Naysay doesn't believe them because he's... Yeah, because... prejudice blinds us when we need to see the most or some such.
Yeah, maybe.
From now on, this school will adhere to EEA doctrine as it should have from the start.
Yeah, good luck with that.
This is the part that feels a little contrived to me, like he...
Chancellor Naysay for that rousing speech. I know you're a stallion who truly believes what you say.
I wonder that was sarcasm.
I know you mean it.
Oh boy.
And when you say there won't be any more lessons from the Princess of Friendship at the School of Friendship, I guess you mean that too.
Yeah, that's a little... Yeah. She controls the herd.
Outside of the EEA guidelines, and even though you tried to stop her, Princesses Celestia and Luna trusted her enough to support her. So since I know you mean what you say, my question is really for the students. Are we going to give the pony who already tried to wreck Twilight School once another chance to do it?
No, of course not.
Okay, in another episode, yeah, this might have been the heroic speech.
Yeah. But it's actually pretty nice, yeah.
This is like Starlight version 2.0.
Wow.
Actually, isn't there like a movie where, like a classic movie where the kids just take over a school and like, lock up the principals or whatever and make the whole everything about pillow fights and...
Sure.
I don't know.
It was the inspiration for that We Don't Need No Education video, I think.
Maybe. That's Pink Floyd, though.
Good. Yeah, just like inspiring the students to tie up some important figure and...
Well, she just convinced them that he has been evil before, so yeah.
Okay, don't you want to keep that thing for yourself instead of throwing it in the garbage?
Maybe she doesn't believe in that. Or she thinks that he has everything that she ever needed already. I don't know. Oh, puppets on a string.
Facebook friendship.
Literally Hitler. Look at how many friends I'm making in Europe. They all want to be my friend.
Wow.
I support the pony master race.
Oh god.
Is there anything we can do to help? We can hang out with you all day if you want. You know, there is something I need help with.
It's trapped.
Yeah.
And then now time for the creatures to save the bigoted.
And is that a pony skull?
Wonderful. I suppose you've all come to gloat?
Actually, we've come to undo all these chains and free you.
But why?
Now that Nasty Pony met even nastier pony, maybe Nasty Pony not be so nasty.
Nice.
Clever.
I'd like to stop Cozy before she drains all the magic from Equestria.
She's behind that as well? Word to Celestia and Luna.
How? Without magic, it'll take forever to get to them.
While it's true that unicorns have lost their ability to cast spells, the most potent magic in Equestria is housed in our artifacts.
Boom.
The EEA medallion allows me to travel throughout Equestria. Its magic
Oh, really?
chained you up. Perhaps it still has enough to send me to the princess.
So it makes portals?
Dang it! Hey, come on.
Double click.
Ooh, nice.
You can take them with you so they're not in danger.
Yeah, too late. Maybe it only works for one pony.
Everything's gonna be fine.
I like her optimism. Everything is burning, everything is going to be
I don't know if it's, I wonder if it's just as like annoying as Pinkie Pie sometimes.
The pig has two tails, and while her singing voice is lovely, I don't think it's magical. We need to try everything if we want to get out of here. I don't know. Tyrus is I can hang out here for
The Chimera.
Even Pinkie had enough.
If my protege has followed my instructions, by sunset tonight, every last vestige of equestrian magic will disappear.
Oh, and this is the gambit for Tarek.
Yeah, but including yours.
It means the six of you will be trapped here, like me.
7! With us.
I hadn't thought of it like
Probably gonna go that route. All they have to do is annoy him a little.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I did not think this through at all. I, the most dastardly villain.
That's
whose
Pinkie's job.
second greatest wish was to hold you all here forever against your will. Can't handle being annoyed a little. That is as deep as my dark heart goes.
Yeah.
I don't
Here we
like
go.
being annoyed for a while.
Here we go. Here we go.
Everyone, time to show Equestria that you aren't monsters. You're wonderful.
Oh.
Let's try Secret Army.
Yeah, the pinky as May says, the gun.
Waka 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 waka.
Hell.
You have to admit, the weaponizing the annoyance of Pinky is pretty effective.
True.
Yes.
Okay, that's actually annoy Tyrek until he caves in.
Yeah, for 30 seconds, that... I don't know, that kind of screams to me we didn't have a better idea to solve this problem.
I think Pinky is really good at her job.
I mean, that's such an age-old gag, like...
No, don't go in there. It's a trap.
Yeah, how do you guys not see this?
I know a diversion when I see it.
Oh, and a
Okay,
student.
one for not making Cozy an idiot, not so much for the Crusaders.
No, yeah.
We can't just sit around and wait for help. So, there's one more prisoner I think we should free.
Oh, I guess Starlight isn't Starlight.
No, it's Eleanor Roosevelt.
No, Yuna, don't tread on the magic. You're going to be trapped.
She can't talk to us for a minute.
Okay.
We'll have to figure a way to get her out.
All these key items.
Oh, they're the artifacts. Oh.
Chapter 12 in Catbacus Facts and Artifacts from Twilight's class.
Yes.
Oh my
You
god.
did it, Gallus?
All the magic in Equestria into that orb. So we can shut it down by yanking one of these things out, right? Sure. Though that would probably cause a magical feedback loop and destroy the whole school. Destroy the
A resonance cascade, you say?
Oh, jeez, I hope this entire class heard only that last few words.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's the Nazis.
It is.
Oh, heck yeah!
Hey.
Let's kill mythical creatures.
Oh wait, just...
Oh my god!
He was breaking already. What are you doing, Pinky?
I mean, I didn't play this to be that funny. It's just like, yeah, you know how this gag works. Pinky annoys him a few times, and she's just so annoying, he gives in. And...
What?
Oh my
wait a
god, this is just like a changeling.
Okay, I haven't been...
Paying
I haven't thought about this very... And, okay, you know what?
What the heck?
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
I thought they were going to be like stripped fully
Come on,
of power.
guys.
Yeah, you know what? That
that's
just,
so
I
cute.
mean, that kind of feels like...
Oh, Black Bear! Look at that!
This is so
Oh, wow.
weird.
You know what?
This is
No,
so
okay.
weird. This is so weird.
Okay, one, that feels like a, well, hey, just making something up by from nothing is slightly better than a Deus Ex Machina, right? And two, that's kind of Metachlorians-ish.
I thought it was funny.
Like, these aren't actually magic, like, creatures aren't actually born this way, it's just, it's...
Of course they were.
Magic
There's magic
makes
all
them that way,
around
like-
in a Equestria.
Yeah. It's like,
Oh, but how are they going to get out of this? Let's see.
Artifacts to bring magic from Equestria.
Me?
Yeah.
Just saw you with your claws all over them. It all makes sense. These creatures want magic gone from Equestria because it's the only thing ponies have that they don't.
Ooh.
There's
yeah, except Cozy, getting them to dismantle this thing means ruining your plan.
Twilight said. And you repaid her by
Yeah.
Tartarus on a wild goose chase so you could destroy everything she built. Oh, they've even trapped Starlight in that thing. We
How could they possibly do that if they don't have magic?
Oh.
Oh, the mob mentality.
Oh my god. Oh. No. Oh
Ooh.
god.
Maybe this is a little too much for the...
sacrificed themselves trying to save their friend. Professor Dash always quiet than that. Shouldn't we try to save them? They brought this on themselves. There's nothing we can do.
Wow.
Seem very generous or kind. Yeah, well, the elements of harmony are
You've
very
been studying.
important. Just not applicable in every circumstance. Magic gone from Equestria, I'm not even sure the Tree of Harmony will be as helpful as it once was.
Ooh, you should be
That's
saying
what you
that.
think.
What's happening?
Tree of Harmony.
Oh!
Oh, wait a minute.
New bearers.
Could it be?
What?
So,
Yeah, get the artifacts.
only the chosen can touch the artifacts.
You all better get clear.
Time to destroy the season gimmick.
Here we go.
Yes. Explosion!
Oh, Starlight!
Ooh.
I hope she will be okay. Oh, they were on the way.
Yeah, so that didn't actually go anywhere.
No, but at least they were on their way though. Aww.
Punch Tarek in the
Yeah, here's
face.
yours.
He was trying to capture magic. Did you see
Tried
that?
to grab a
Punch Tarek
couple
in
of them,
the
and they're
face.
just like, yeah, here's yours.
It's nice to see you too.
Aw.
Starlight doesn't do hugs.
Now Twilight and her ridiculous friends can escape from Turnerus.
Duh.
I mentioned I'm also responsible
boy.
for locking the Crusaders in a closet.
You can drop the
No, they're going to stay in the closet.
Told us all about how to help you suck up all that magic.
But I still don't understand why. Why? Because friendship is power. You might be the princess of friendship, but as head mayor of
Actually,
the school,
I see her point. Huh. We have been weaponizing rainbows and power and stuff like that, right?
But power isn't why you make friends. I'm sorry
No,
I
that's
couldn't teach you that.
Well, you don't
Aw.
Can't let one bad apple make you think you failed.
We never could have stopped her if we hadn't learned.
Loyalty, generosity, blah, blah, blah. I can make more friends without using any of them. And if I can't
Oh, really?
I'll do it somewhere else.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't you
you're
need
not
those
going
artifacts?
anywhere. Yeah.
So, no, see, we had a payoff. We show
The
up
guards
at the end
actually
and
did something.
cut her off.
Oh yeah, how about that?
All gods did something.
Like hell. They were more helpful losing in the fight to the changelings.
Aw.
Well,
He's getting ridiculous.
she's an arc. That one's
Oh,
somewhere.
they're getting their degrees. That's sweet.
graduation. Now that we've saved Equestria, we figured we're done with school.
And no.
Saving
Eh,
Equestria is not
I wish it were that easy.
more than one semester to learn all there is to know about friendship.
It took 7
Twilight should know
seasons.
about that.
Your head mayor is right.
Don't worry, 2 more seasons and they'll be giving you wings and horns and saying you're the greatest things ever.
They'll all be princesses.
I suppose true
Shit.
friendship
Yeah.
will take a lifetime to understand.
Or whichever one of you is the leader will be.
Oh. That was cute, Twilight. Asa came out.
Yeah. You know, in hindsight, the Crusaders had kind of a
Who gives a
limited
crap at
role
this
to play
point?
in this episode.
Yeah.
As for Cozy Glow, I can assure you, where she's going, she won't be causing any more trouble.
She's
Okay,
in
so
Tartarus.
she's going to Tartarus.
In Tartarus.
Boring here now, but at least you're not in a cage.
Hey neighbor, wanna be friends?
Oh no.
Dun, dun, dun.
Making evil friends now.
Oh no. I hope she
Well-
never comes back.
Actually, on that, like,
Honest-
by that logic, can't Tyrek just absorb all the magic from the animals now and get himself going again?
I don't know.
Well, the thing is, it's just barely enough magic to like push open a door, sort of thing, and he would have
that's
to.
all he needs to do to get started, get out of Tartarus.
But he has to
Maybe
basically
he doesn't know how to do that.
Well, the thing is, they had to sort of give up their magic willingly. That's sort of showing it, and also T-Rex, especially in his weaker forms, needs to be very close to drain something's magic, and he's currently locked in a cage.
Yes.
Yeah, so while he could start with Cerberus, because Cerberus is right there. I mean,
how about just start with Cozy Glow and just
Cozy, yeah.
Yeah, or that. Although, to be fair, he did need to absorb unicorn magic before he could absorb anything else last time. But
can we just put Cozy in the glue factory along with Quibble and Mudbriar, please?
Okay.
I mean,
I thought it would have a no full policy, but well,
it needed a little sugar in there.
I don't know. Cozy honestly feels like I mean, granted, her plan was really cool, but in and of herself, she kind of feels like a half-hearted gimmick. She doesn't even like make me that mad. It's just more like, hey, look, she's so cute and she's evil. Seeing it.
Because nobody ever suspects the cute little bunny or cute little pony. No one ever suspects it. So it's a pretty good gimmick. And for being a villain she really did put she really put in a finale that you really have to have some big stakes at hand, and that was the big stake. And for again, as much as I want to see her in the glue factory, I gotta hand it to her. She had some pretty big plans, and she raised the stakes definitely in her own way, and she did it to where nobody would know because she's so being so cute and everything and such, you know.
Yeah, and she's still a foe.
Well, in and of itself, that she's so cute. I mean, that's again, it's kind of gimmick.
This is now going to make you. This will make you doubt every single cute thing you come across. It's like you see a cute puppy, you'll think it's evil. You see a cute kitty, you're gonna think it's evil. You see like a baby elephant, you're gonna think it's evil.
Well, I mean, like think about the first time you saw, I don't know, the Bad Seed or Princess. Well, no, Princess. They're pretty clear that she's a jerk from the start. But like who else? One of the cute little kids from the Twilight Zone, or the one that terrorizes Johnny Bravo, or heck, Angel Bunny. And just like imagine that stomach churning feeling when they do the official reveal that the thing is that is like been played as just the adorable bit of on-screen eye candy is suddenly like stomach churningly evil. And now over to Cozy, there was really none of that. They made it clear like kind of all along that she's bad news, and they're not like even playing up the contrast that much. You know, it feels like you get it. She's cute and she's evil.
She's cute, but she's stomach churningly evil.
Yeah, and
well,
also
I mean,
the fact that
I'm saying, like, imagine when the last few times you've seen that reveal dropped, like just what the whiplash effect of it, and just how much of that you didn't get from Cozy. Like, heck, they let you know it was her.
But she's already
in episodes prior, and I mean, or that she was the bad guy in episodes prior, and now I don't know. Here, like they honestly, I don't know if they even ever played her as that cute. It's just like,
well, they tried, yeah.
They tried,
but
I tried like really hard.
I'm still like surprised. Like she's really intelligent for a fool. So yeah,
very, 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 very smart. Very smart for not just. I was thinking it was going to be naysayer, but in this case, that threw me for a loop there. And yeah, very smart for a fool. And that's at the same time, it's refreshing, but it's disturbing a little.
Yeah.
It's refreshing but disturbing, you know, and especially with the ending, they're like, want to be friends, and like, oh no, she's gonna come back for revenge. But you know what? At least it's not redemption.
Thank God.
Amen to that. At least it is not redemption. And
I'm sorry, guys, but I think I'm going to go.
Okay.
I hope you're able to feel tired and like try to go to sleep for a little bit now. Okay.
All right.
All right.
But going back to what Second said earlier is like how he didn't feel they properly foreshadowed like her evilness well. I feel that's sort of a good summary of this season is you can tell they had a foreplan of like stuff they wanted to include in the season to sort of, but they sort of haphazardly integrated it into the season because like for instance they kept mentioning magical artifacts throughout the season, but they didn't really explain what the heck they were. It was like, oh yeah, these magical superpowered artifacts that do stuff. They're here. Let's move on. So it's just, it feels like they had an idea, but their execution of what they wanted to do with it felt rushed and unplanned.
I think it was intentional. I think it was almost intentional for Cozy for that. Sorry.
I mean, well, you've really never seen the whole the cutesy character is actually the most evil one of all thing.
It's a cliche.
Yeah, that's the idea. It's the trap. Cozy's the well, not the trap 4chan would say, but well, depends on who you ask. But anyway, she's the trap, pretty much the villain you don't see coming. And I think that was the intention because that's the twist. She's pretty much the twist. Like, oh, you thought she was all cute and everything and all nice and then teacher's pet and crap. No, she's evil AF.
Yeah, that is the one thing I do. That is the one thing I do appreciate about her because I feel the execution of her was bad overall. I felt they could have done it better. That's good similar to the season. But the one thing I will like is how they did not hold back about how evil she is.
Yes,
like she is possibly the most malicious villain so far in the series, which is
right.
Yeah, not the. It's like she's not deluded. She's not deluded like Starlight was about like what like the friendships, like the effects of it. Like she was just just using it as like a source of like networking / control, and just using like her sweet attitude in order to like manipulate the masses. And I'm just like, oh my god, Machiavellian villain in a small child.
Isn't that freaky?
How did she even get that evil though? Like we get zero. Well, okay, I guess.
I'm wondering if they
scary if you don't know their backstory, but I mean, you don't think this is played out at all? This isn't even the first time we've seen it in this show, like Angel Bunny and stuff.
Right. I hope at the same time, part of me is like, I hope I don't see this full come back. But at the same time, part of me, the terrible curious part is like, okay, what is this? What is this thing's MO? And please, for the love of everything, it better not be the same thing as Starlight's. Like, my best friend my best friend left me because he got his cutie mark, and now I'm angry, and I'm gonna conquer the world and send magic away, or something like that. I swear, if it's something like that, I don't know what to do anymore. If it's something like that,
okay, I'm with you on that one.
If it's the same freaking motive as Starlight's, I don't know what I'll do.
Yeah, but here it's like. We finally get ourselves our first non-unicorn / mythical creature villain, and it's a Pegasus.
Also, do you think we have we have a new element? We have a new Elements of Harmony.
I mean,
now it's the student 6. It's almost a new, almost. I'm not certain.
I don't think so, and honestly, I would feel betrayed if they were replaced because the main 6 are still there and present and all that.
True.
So are Luna and Celestia, though. Like, we know that they can be passed like a torch. And if
they pass the torch because
the last one turns out to be true, then I could see them wanting to go out on a, hey, we passed the torch kind of a note.
Yeah, I think I still don't feel that. I feel like the overall idea was like the Tree of Harmony in general, like the Student 6. I was just sort of intervening to save them.
Here's the thing about that. There's nothing unique about each of the students that's been accentuated. So we don't know what kind of element they would even represent.
Yeah,
if anything.
I mean, yeah, if I feel someone's going to go back and like it's like, oh, this like student 6 was this color. That means they represent that element.
Yeah.
The staff doesn't really care. It's like when they picked which elements like Luna and Celestia to juggle, they honestly didn't care. They just sort of went with it.
I actually made a theory about that, but that was old. Very old.
Yeah. And I mean, heck, people have objected to the elements that the main six have right now. Like some people thought Dash shouldn't be loyalty, or Rarity shouldn't be generosity, Applejack shouldn't be honesty. But I mean, episodes have done a pretty decent job fleshing out how that works.
Honestly, I thought all of them. I mean, I thought all of them pretty well fit. The only one that a lot of people brought up, just sort of true, is that AJ and Rainbow should have really flipped elements.
Yeah, Rainbow for honesty, just because like she's a braggart that only speaks the truth about herself. That's kind of the thing.
Honestly, I don't think that like somebody who does uncensored, I don't think is really the same thing as honest. Like I was saying starting out that Rarity and Applejack should have switched. Rainbow, I know a lot of people like that, and honestly, I think like kind of having a strong personality and like that makes you unafraid to hurt people's feelings, like that's its weakness. But I think the strength of it also actually tends to be that you're less afraid to say, like, no, you don't tell me who I hang out with or what I stand for. I determine that. I stand by it.
Hey guys, sorry to cut this short, but I actually have to cut out myself. I have to make a very important call and then go to bed.
All right, then. All right.
But good night, viewers, and good night, you guys.
Good night.
And this was last thing I will say about this. Last thing I will say about this, and then I'll sign off here. Dare I say it? We have a good season finale. Dare I say it? This is a good season finale. Very good.
We've been 3 for 3 with these season finales after the disaster of Starlight's one.
Right, but so far we haven't had anything that's knocked. I haven't seen anything that's knocked my socks off yet. But so far, this is good. This is good, and that's all I can ask for. But anyway, that's all I have to say, folks. But I have to go. Good night, viewers, and good night, you guys.
See ya.
All right. But I mean, I'll go more into that later because I have thoughts for season 8, which I want to say mostly for when we do a discussion of that in a future video sometime early November. But the main idea is like I feel the main issue with this season, like I feel they knew what they wanted to end it on and knew how they wanted to start it, but I felt they didn't know the in between. And overall, it feels like this season should have honestly, I felt it would have worked better if they would have cut it down to be like a 13 episode season.
There's also like a bit of me that's like a bit disappointed with like the Cutie My Crusaders part of this episode. Sort of like,
they're sidelined hard, which honestly they deserve to have some point, like some major way that they help with the resolution of like in conflict, because they've been here since like
first season.
I know first season. I'm trying to remember if they were all shown in the first episode. I don't think they were. I don't think
yes they were. Yes they were. I remember.
Scootaloo in there or not?
Yeah, Scootaloo was in there. Scootaloo was actually in there.
Since episode 1 of the series, they've sort of been here. So if some side support group deserves like even a minor role that they really help in, I feel they sort of do deserve that.
I mean, like Spike was able to technically help the Crystal Empire in season 3.
I mean, I hate that role. He did help, but like it's true, he did help.
About that episode I like less than his assist.
I mean, then again, he did actually save the Crystal Empire like 1 season later.
What the Crystal? You mean the Equestria Games save?
Yeah. And then later on, in 2 seasons after that, just basically was like, I stopped having a changeling be hated, and literally, basically planted the seed for like the growth of the changeling, the neo changeling culture.
What I honestly like more than anything he actually did, I just kind of liked Princess Cadence letting him have that one, like, I don't know, they kind of made that sort of like almost like a big sisterly thing from Cadence, just that she likes being nice to him almost.
Yeah.
That's kind of Cadence's strength in general, that she's a good gift giver.
Mm.
Well, also I feel like it's never really stated, but like it can be like what's the word I'm looking? It can be presumed that Cadence and Spike did have a close relationship because she was Twilight's babysitter a lot when she was growing up. So you could presume Cadence previously had some good interaction with Spike, even though it's never stated, which is sort of weird if you think about it. But I guess it's going back to season 2, where I think they just probably wanted Twilight to be more isolated in that episode. Anyway, back to this one.
Oh yeah. I kind of really did like the whole idea about like Tartarus, like aside from like Tarek being there, just like using like the animals that Pony Society I deem like monstrous and like disruptive, and just being like, okay, let's go ahead and use like the same plot point from like the Changeling finale, and then just basically do that with all these monsters, and then find out like removing their magic, then they become normal animals. I'm just like, so Steven Universe logic? I don't know how.
There's just no way to there's no way to spin that so that it doesn't feel cobbled together to just.
I mean,
what do you call that when you're like doing math with things that don't exist?
It's kind of like sort of like giving like a species part of like a chimera its own consciousness, which is weird, and they're more happier together. Which I'm thinking about Steven Universe, but I'm also thinking about like, oh god,
it's kind of like they're trying to Frankenstein's monstrous solution into existence.
MacGyver.
Like, and that, I mean, did anyone else like think that feels a little midichlorians-ish? Like, they're actually just regular creatures plus magic.
I think it's more of like the influence of like the magical world, like so like gives like the creatures, except for those in like in the Everfree Forest, which they might migrate into the Everfree Forest, since it's not really like a magical place.
I mean, like a fantasy world with fantasy creatures, that's something we all love. But then, like, oh no, if you take the magic out of them, they're just normal creature. I don't know. That's like a little too much.
You have to ask the ancient Greeks.
You have to what?
You have to ask the ancient Greeks, who conceptualized them.
I don't know. Did they know that if you drain the magic from a chimera, it just turns into a regular lion, snake, and goat?
I'm just saying they conceptualized the creatures themselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, which by the way, it was kind of like weird seeing like that chimera from that certain episode from season 4, which I despise greatly.
Somebody watch over me?
Yes.
That episode, that's like if you had to make me pick one episode that I describe as so bad it's good, that I'd have to say somebody to watch it, or at least that's the closest it came. Like that episode, it's comedy. It's like so dumb in so many ways, but I can't look away.
It's like watching a train wreck.
I was gonna say car crash.
Yeah, but I mean, heck, there's even some moments that are legitimately clever. Like, Sweetie and I will take turns sleeping. That way, if one of us gets tired, the other can take over. Like, I don't know. It's like it almost becomes like clever within its own stupid insanity.
I mean, there was that one awesome moment with Applejack showing her badassness against the Chimera. That was like
I don't even know if I could like describe that as just like a legit good moment. Like she sticks a chair in its mouth and she dodges a couple of times and she gives the goat a block of cheese after the fact. And then she's okay with the fact that Apple Bloom almost got eaten because she got the cart slightly farther than Applejack expected. It's like
no.
I mean, it's like I'm just like yeah.
That
again,
was
like, car crash, but I can't look away.
She wasn't happy about that at all, and even I remember that episode from, like, she was like very much upset. But then at the end, it's like
we lost the apple pies, but well, at least you're okay. And I just hope this proves that every coddling instinct I had about you was correct, and you will let me coddle you forever. What? Wait, you didn't lose the apple pie? surprise? You got them over the hill instead of to the foot of the hill before they almost ate you? Well, anyone who can do that doesn't need me at all.
Okay, now it's just like I like that episode. It really gives me bad memories about my childhood, about coddling. But I mean, at the very least, the Chimera was an interesting character at the time. Though people were complaining about the fact that Chimera was speaking, and there was no point for her to speak. And I'm just like, does it really matter if giving a voice role to a mythical creature means that it needs to have narrative significance? I just like the sort of like taunting personality she had. Isn't that all? Can't we just appreciate that? And I was kind of sad that the Chimera didn't speak in this episode.
That's true, actually.
Yeah. Kind of almost makes you think like maybe Applejack called up the royal guard for him to arrest the Chimera for like that they nearly ate my sister. And then also seeing like the bugbear, and I'm just like, so the secret agency of Smile was able to get the bugbear, and we get that reference.
But back to this, a little more focused. I'm trying to think of any other things on this episode itself.
I mean, like the irritation about Naysay, which we shared with Cozy Glow, just like you're just being an annoying third party right now. You do realize that you're just an antagonist.
Yeah, come to think of it, isn't he just like yet another quote unquote season arc that just had sort of a one scene payoff in the finale, and like it didn't really build to much beyond himself, and just like, hey, here's a couple of thematic points and a payoff real quick. Ta-da! I bet you're glad you stayed curious about where he was going, huh?
I mean, honestly, I found much more better payoff from Iron Fist Season 1 when it came to the actual antagonist of that season. Not the villain, but the antagonist in the form of Ward reforming compared to Naysay. And that's saying something from one of the most disappointing Netflix series. I'm just like, Naysay, sorry, Maurice LaMarche. Your voice talent was racist with this character.
Again, the biggest thing with like naysayers is it just like they sort of like, oh yeah, there's racist ponies. And it's like it just feels so
ham-fisted.
Yes, like so, like they can integrate well. Like you haven't watched Star Versus with us, but Star Versus like it's a big plot of the story is like the monsters, like there is humans and monsters. There is like very racial tensions there. Like it's not subtle. It's like it's brought up in season 1. So like when it's like developed more in future season, like season 3, it's not normal because it's sort of been there. In the same way with like Steven Universe and like LGBTQ like themes, it's been there since like season 1, so it makes sense. Here it just seems like, oh, there's a racist pony now because like everyone's talking about those racial Nazis now. Ha ha ha! It's so topical.
Honestly, with the stuff in ancient times, griffins were known to be as greedy as dragons. Like I won't say there wasn't room for there to be a race subplot. It really didn't go anywhere. Like, I mean, if you think about it, except for the first episode, you could run the whole season without Chancellor Naysay.
Well, it's just because I feel it's like this. It just felt like they're too like they couldn't decide if they want Naysayer to like to be the villain of the season, like to focus him, or like to our Glow to be the. It's like they're like it's again. They felt like they didn't really know what to do with this season, so they just sort of did a little everything, and just it made what they did do feel less special because like it wasn't focused.
Yeah, I mean, I won't even say like it turned me off that much. I'm just kind of underwhelmed by it.
Yeah, I kind of get that. Oh.
But So how do you feel about this episode's like as it's on its own, like it's pacing between like the sort of three, well, I guess two plot lines, like the main six is one, and then sort of the student six and six is one. And also sort of a little bit of honey. What's her name? Glow something.
Cozy Glow.
Cozy Glow. It's always sticks on my tongue. Her name. Like it sort of shifted between those three perspectives throughout the episode. How do you feel that was balanced? Because overall, I felt it was balanced well, but it just felt that some of the plot lines had unsatisfactory endings.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, like
see that.
after part one, the internal rating scale, totally flawless, and second opinion sealed of approval, was ticking at about an A minus, but I mean, yeah, part two, it kept seeming like not only disappointing, like payoffs, but just like kind of disappointing directions. Like the main six, it seemed like their story and its little details felt kind of Frankenstein monster together. Like, okay, we need them to, sonic screwdriver their way out of this. What can we pretend is a good sonic screwdriver? And it wasn't really necessary anyway because they don't really have a payoff. Like the fact that they got out of Tartarus doesn't mean much. The problem is solved without them. And then, same with Chancellor Naysay. He didn't need to be in the story except to give his own arc payoff and just stuff like that. Or like
I guess
the fact that T-Rick they needed to annoy him for 20 seconds to get him to help be part of the sonic screwdriver. It's like
I feel it was like you say it's 20 seconds. I feel that was more of an implied longer time. I'm trying to look. Like it's like it felt very montagey, like where Pinky was annoying, where it's sort of like how at the same time Fluttershy was talking to all the animals. It wasn't a quick speech like that. I assume both of those were like a montage over like a longer extended period of time. Like it took them longer than that to like tire down Cerberus too. So I assume just more time passed, but overall, like I feel Tyrick would have helped them, like for the reason, like again, he even realized like, oh crud, I'm gonna be stuck with these ponies here forever. Like,
I mean, you could interpret it. I mean, there is room for that to have happened, I'll grant you. But what we actually see is like Pinkie Pie does three things to it. She gives him a hat, gives him a cake, and plays with his face a little, and then breakdown. It felt very through the motions. Like, well, we solved that problem of him not actually being on their side. Next.
Yeah.
I guess overall, it's just like this episode, like it does a good job of like balancing like the three perspectives, but at the same time, like two of those perspectives, as you mentioned, don't really. And then something like Progressive just showcases like them, like even if like the time is very much out, like they're still willing to like go over to like help save the day. It's like it just feels like well, I mean, then again, they all come together in the end in order to entrap Cozy Glow. I guess that's really what it was really setting up for.
Yeah, I think the strongest part of this episode was Cozy Glow versus the Student Six, and heck, even the Cutie Mark Crusaders, as little as they got to do. So, I don't know. I think the whole thing had just been that, like, more of unveiling Cozy's plan and all the malicious things she conjures together to stay on top. I mean, I felt like it could have been stronger, and like as is, it feels like. Well, heck, after two finales that really pulled what they had to work with together into a pretty strong whole, this felt like it was gathering itself up, and then, after it came time to deliver in part two, was like, this, and then, but the important part with Cozy, that is the tree likes the student 6 and ta-da!
I guess like Cozy was just like, I'm just making like finding like this nice little corridor in order to trap Starlight essentially. Well, I'm having like this the spell essentially like suck off all the magic and such.
Sure.
So
I mean, it's not stated. Like I wish they would have shown, or at least implied more that how she took Starlight. But the way I assume it is, he's like, golly gee, Starlight, like I found this weird magic circle on her tree. Could you come and look at it? It's like, oh wait, what is this magic circle? And he just pushed him into it, and like maybe I'll seem to grab you after you cross the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I assume that was like basically what happened. And since she doesn't have her magic really at all right now, it would have been like she would have been easily overpowered.
Yeah, like take away magic from like the most OP unicorn of the land and basically have like a trapped.
We know Cozy already had the artifact, so I guess they're more what was left off screen as to the explanation. Which, granted, is still better than, okay, the changelings can take down all of Equestria because we didn't feel like writing that part of the story, but yeah. Other than that, I feel like
the thing with that though is like they didn't. With that one though, it wasn't that they took over all of Equestria; they just took all the head officials of Equestria, which felt
so all
more
the important parts.
I mean, most important parts, but they still want to take over the armies and all that. I mean, I wish they would, again, always wish they would have explained that more, but it's like a lot easier than like, oh, everyone's a changeling now sort of thing. It's like, no, only like 10 figures really have been switched with changeling, so it's more plausible than just like all of like Cloudsdale and everyone was like replaced a team. Like that would be a little much, but like 10 figures of important power are theoretical.
Well, I could probably go back and forth on that a while, but I had an easier time accepting Cozy has the artifacts, but other than that, I do think the season 6 finale actually tied itself together a lot stronger, like how the ragtag group of heroes advances step by step and I felt like it came up with some legitimately clever machinations that went into that, whereas this seems like it was flying by the seat of its pants a little bit.
I honestly feel like the weakness of this finale is the fact that they decide to split off the writing credits of like, okay, one writer focuses on part 1, the other writer focuses on part 2.
To my utter surprise, the one where I thought it was stronger was Nicole Dubach, who I don't think I've given her much credit this season for anything she wrote on her own. So yeah, she had the one where I felt like it was building pretty well, where, like I said, I kind of thought it would have given it about an A- if it kept going at that rate, and then Josh Haber has the one where it got a little sloppy and fell into less great territory.
That Josh Haber.
Yeah, Josh Haber.
Well, I mean, he's the one I think you go to when you want a solid, unspectacular episode, so the fact that he, like Nicole Dubach, came up with the fairly tightly crafted engaging, like, suspenseful story, and then he let it fall to pieces a little bit. Huh, that's a little bit of a surprise for me. That, and didn't he help with the last 2 season finales, or at least the last one?
Yeah, I think
helped
so.
with the last 2 seasons. He had help from like Michael Vogel to wear him back again, and for season 7, it was with Nicole Dubach. It was with Nicole.
Nicole Dubach wasn't in season 7.
In the finale, she was writing with him.
What?
Yeah.
I thought it was Lewis and Sonko.
No, that's for the story editors. And they wrote for like Celestial Advice, the premiere of season 7. So yeah, I guess in the end, like Nicole Dubach has like a lot of great writing chops when it comes to like finale writing. I mean, like Josh Haber, like along with like someone else, can really focus all the energies. But if he's just isolated by himself, you do get like some of the more traditional, like unremarkable episodes.
Although, to be fair, Nicole Dubach's effort on her own was a matter of principles.
No, it wasn't that episode. Oh wait, it is. Oh wait, it is. I thought she only wrote for marks for effort.
That, and actually, was that her only solo effort this season?
No. She also did marks for effort and matter of principles.
Okay, so yeah, she hasn't been the greatest on her own until now.
Oh,
so it seems like we're just distinctly okay, but underwhelmed with this episode.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, overall, I felt it was a great finale for the season, but I would not put in like the top list of finales sort of thing.
Like honestly, like I much rather enjoy Shadow Play or To Wear Him Back Again over this, but this episode is not too shabby. This episode
that's what I sort of meant. Is like I felt those were higher, but this was still not a bad finale. If anything, it was above the season standards.
Yeah, no, this is in my top 3 for this season for sure. Although, granted, with this season, I feel like it's oddly fitting. I've made it no secret. I've been a little disappointed by this season.
I think it's
now it's like this episode. Yeah, like it's a very fitting finale. I'm sorry, good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, it's not just you. Like everyone's been pretty open about how underwhelming the season's been.
Yeah. Okay, and now we have a finale that, like the last 2, tries to draw itself up and deliver big, and instead it's just like, yeah, this, and then never mind.
Yeah, again, I feel this season just didn't feel focused with its big plot points, and it honestly felt like they were like, oh, this is going to be a 13 episode season, and then it's like, oh wait, they want us 26 episodes. Right stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Like we need people like Mod. Let's have another Mod episode. We need. Oh wait, we haven't done a Rary and Rainbow Dash episode in ages. Let's do that again.
Let's have another AJ and Dash episode.
Where they fight over their differences.
Let's also have a Starlight and Trixie episode in which Trixie is actually more in the right this time.
Actually, you know what? I don't even know if it feels to me like it was meant to be a 13 episode season, because it honestly felt a lot like season 6 to me, except just worse.
Yeah.
It's like it was just okay with like churning out lots of like, fair enough, right?
I mean, if we're comparing like the worst of like season 6 and season 8.
Yakety Sax.
Yakety Sax is kind of is worse in comparison. I mean, repetition can be quite draining on my psyche, but Yakety Sax is sort of like,
that episode. Yeah, it's one of the few episodes it's not just bad, but like it's so bad, like it sort of physically hurts you.
Yakety Sax, more like Yakety sucks. Am I right?
But it's like that sort of episode of like everything seems to go very much the opposite of what you would expect the show to go for. When it comes to like the Yaks without Yona being like the best part of the episode, that's just sort of like when you make the Yaks the best part of an episode and they're barely even there, that's sad. That's just really sad.
So yeah, we all hate Yakety Sax, as we've established.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Aside from that, it's like I feel like for like season 6, there was like a lot more like good spotlight episode for the guy characters, but season 8 in comparison was like, let's have some really interesting conflict episodes with these parents that we haven't used for a long time. But then it's like, I'm getting sick and tired of this concept. I'm getting sick and tired of this concept. Can we please just move on? Because that is like seriously, we had 5 of these episodes and they were very close to each other. Even for syndication purposes, the average viewer would just be like, why did they make so many of those episodes close to each other?
Yeah.
And even like some of the episodes that I thought were at least marginally interesting, like good and something, like earlier in the season, are now just like bleh to me, like Parent Map and such.
Well, I don't hate Parent Map.
I don't hate it either. It's just bleh. Like,
I don't know. I mean, you gotta like the times it went off book. Like, hey, let's do the scenario where I force everybody to do an act for Sunburst to make him feel like he solved the friendship problem. Oh, gee, these ponies will not buy my perfume. Well, maybe that's because we prefer our natural stuff. Just little touches like that gets me like, where did that even come from? Just it's almost like the writer got bored with going through the motions. But I mean, yeah, like it I don't know, it stood out to me a few times, I will say.
yeah, and even for me as a Spike fan this season, it's like Spike didn't get like the worst episodes, but he definitely got the most meh episodes he ever had in a season.
All down?
All done?
Bolt down? Was it meh?
Yes, it was a meh for me.
Okay.
It was a meh for me. Like, and Father Snow's Beast was just basically was like, I can't really call it good. I just find it in between good and meh. And it's just like, I know you're not a terrible episode, but then again, you introduce Sludge, one of the most despicable characters to abuse an orphan ever. So, yeah, thank you for showing me that, Josh Aber. And aside from that, the special guest for like the season from Sound of Silence was like a big pick me up for one episode. And What Lies Beneath was a good setup for the finale.
Yeah.
Oh, not even like just a good setup, like a very good standalone episode, even on its own merits.
I think it's my favorite of the season, honestly.
I mean, then again, A Rock Over the Hard Place is a good contender.
Well, for me, the contender would be, if there is a contender, it'd be Sounds of Silence.
I mean, it's like those three episodes I feel like are equal. That's just my opinion. Like, seriously, I empathize with Rockcliffe so much.
I like Rockcliffe in that episode, but I still probably wouldn't make my top 5.
Really?
Top 10 to be top 10 to be sure, because season 8 is a little bit thin on episodes that are that good. But
I mean, I also would say washouts as well for top 10.
That you can have all to yourself.
Wow. Okay, but I guess it just felt a bit weird about like the whole pen pal thing for like this episode, even though it's like the reasoning behind why Cozy Glow is able to gather all this.
I felt that would have been something that should have been foreshadowed well earlier. Like we randomly receive like her like writing a letter to her. It was like, oh, I'm just writing to my pen pal, or just like like a few small details like that could have, I felt, worked better earlier in the season. They just weren't there.
Yeah,
so it just feels like out of nowhere.
Yeah, instead of like these very obvious hints that was just quite irritating now in retrospect.
The thing is, though, how the hell can she send a letter to Tyrek? Through the door?
Yeah.
Well, if Luna can pop into Tartarus, I guess they have a mail system. Well, we have to assume ipso facto they have a mail system at least.
Oh, we got this child who wants to send a letter to Tartarus. Should we let it go? Yeah, let's say.
How about that Tyrek is sending letters back? I feel like somebody would have checked those.
Yeah. Like, come on.
But I've had to accept worse things this season, honestly, and even sometimes in past seasons. So, like, it's relatively low on my list of complaints.
I also like to mention about like after looking at some screenshots for like the season finale, it's like the fact that like none of them were like very authentic to like what I thought they were going to do with like the student 6. Like, oh look, we saved Equestria, which means we actually get the graduate. Actually, no. Just because you guys save the world doesn't mean you just get off a
Honestly, I like that. I like that little touch because it sort of like pays tribute to like how many freaking times has the main six saved Equestria and just not gotten much recognition after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone has the ability to save the world. Doesn't mean
like the first couple times they did it, yeah, and then it was like, oh, okay, they're just the heroes of Equestria, and everyone knows them now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I guess it like the real big elements I really didn't like were just like the enslavement of like the pony masses of that school.
Yeah.
Cozy Glow just
literally Hitler. Just bringing that up.
Or Masayoshi Shida from Persona 5.
Yeah.
Just know the aspects of like a manipulating politician.
Actually, I don't know if she can be considered literally Hitler, because Hitler wasn't the brains so much as he was the propaganda machine. See?
Yeah, he was propaganda. Like
he tried to be the brains, but that's part of what lost Germany the war, I think.
Well, in terms of military brains, yeah, he was sort of stupid. But in terms of a politician that can like create like a cult of personality around him, he was like intelligent in that regard.
Okay, yeah.
Now I can release my new Mountain Dew flavor. Cozy Glow did nothing wrong. That actually happened, by the way. Look it up.
Oh, wow. Well, somebody tried to argue in her favor.
Mountain Dew held an online poll about a new Mountain Dew flavor, and 4chan decided to do a prank, get Hitler did nothing wrong to #1.
And we just got demonetized.
Yep.
Honestly, we never got anyway because Hasbro claims everything with these videos. So, but yeah, like before we go, yeah, that reminds me of one thing that I find annoying now is how YouTube sort of censoring like some history videos or like people are self things like, so they'll like erase the swastika from like the German flags and they're doing like a history video. It's like, oh come on, that's a history video.
The history video, guys. Like, if you erase history, then how are we gonna ever learn from them? And how are we gonna know about how they twisted like a Buddhist symbolism into like their own corrupted means? Because
until the episode on how we all hate YouTube.
Yeah. Well, but then again, it's like a very much like an abusive relationship because when we didn't have YouTube for a while, people were starved.
All right, but I guess we're done with talking about this episode, unless everyone has any final thoughts.
I guess I would rank this episode as a good episode overall. Like, it had the potential to be great from like the first part of the episode, but then as things went on, and I got more and more irritated about Naysay overall and the way his arc ended, and I'm just like, why couldn't you have that retrospective of like the biggest enemy could not have been like an outsider, but someone of your kind. You trusted your own kind, and there was no particular reason. It was just simplistic bigotry. And I'm just like, I wanted some sort of explanation from you, Naysay, but they didn't give you any. And that was the biggest disappointment for me right there. That's so bad. Just really bad.
Say it wasn't my biggest disappointment, but
yeah, I mean, aside from that, oh yeah, and also T-Rex was also a disappointment because of like, even though he was the one who provided the means for Cozy Glow, he wasn't really much for the episode. Like, even more so than say Chrysalis and Mean Sick.
Oh yeah, yeah. That I kind of picked that up too.
Yeah.
And yeah, I pretty much said it. The internal rating meter was ticking at about an A- after part 1, and then Josh Haber came in, and I don't know, I guess down to a B+ or something like that. 89.4 instead of 90.5. Oh, Haber.
Who else but Haber?
It's Haber. It's Haber. He's sorry. Everything he touches, it's Haber. It's Haber. Ha 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 ha. Starlight forever.
Hey everyone, want another Starlight? This time with even more or less backstory.
Actually, though, I do think he's a better episode writer than he is a season editor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, which makes me wonder, season 9, is it still going to be Haber?
I believe it is.
Oh, God. Oh, God. I mean, it's supposed to be the last season. Why?
The thing is, like, I still have hope for season 9 because it is the last season. So, if there's any, like, that's a season, like, they have very good justification to basically pull out all the stops and, like, wrap everything up. So, it's not like they have to, like, there should really be no filler in that season. In theory, there should be no push for filler. That should be all meaningful, in theory.
But then again, like, people have been talking about it. Like, there has never been any real confirmation from Hasbro that the 9th season is the last season.
I think they have confirmed it now, or at least they confirmed the plans that went along with it being their last season.
Till we find out for sure. This is the second opinion.
See y'all.
I'll go bed.
And all these other guys, Dave. Oh, okay. That's what I was looking for.